Mhm. Hey, Courtney.
I was just wondering, should I join on the Zoom or the YouTube?
Do you know, funny you should say that. I was just looking back at the emails. I think you join on the Zoom, mate,
Okay.
because I think the YouTube is on a delay.
Okay.
Have you had a look at the YouTube yet?
Cool. No, I haven't.
It's all a bit weird because I can't see it. I always feel slightly odd because,
Okay.
yeah, join on the Zoom when you're ready.
Okay.
All right. But what we'll do is we leave the camera. I don't know how you did it with Jen. Did you leave the camera off?
I left it on, but I wasn't in the sessions anyway, so should I just leave it off?
Yeah, we tend to leave it off just because it becomes distracting. But what we do, leave it on to start with and say, this is Courtney. She's my friend taking some notes. She's going to turn the camera off so that nobody can, so that she can concentrate on getting what she's got to get done.
Okay, cool.
All right. Thanks for doing this, Courtney.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Hello. Hello. Brittany,
Hello.
can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me. Oh no. Okay. Do you have earphones in?
Okay, go ahead. Okay, I had it on mute. Sorry.
Everybody does it. We've been doing this for so long, haven't we? And yet we still always on mute. Thank you ever so much for seeing me. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Good. It's interesting that your name comes up as Brit, and I am a Brit. That's quite funny. Okay. Where do you live, Brittany?
In New Jersey.
In New Jersey. I once went to Red Bank in New Jersey.
Okay, that's a little far from me.
Is it? It's a long time ago. I mean, I must have been 15 years old. I don't remember anything about it really, but and obviously that was in the dark ages. Look, thank you ever so much for joining. A couple of things I want to just talk through with you. My colleague Courtney might join us. She won't have her camera on, but she'll be taking some notes in the background so that my memory is awful, so that we got some good notes. She'll either do that through a YouTube live closed link YouTube stream that we've got going. So she'll either do it there, you won't even notice she's there, or she may join this call, depending how the connections go. So I don't know if you can see on your screen, it says live on YouTube. You're not streaming anywhere. It's safe. There's no broadcast. It's merely within our closed world so that she can take notes.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Okay.
You don't look sure.
No, I did see it. It made me a little nervous, but
I bet it did. I bet it did. No, I promise you this. It's literally, there's probably no one even sitting there watching it, and it can't go anywhere at all. It's a completely closed link.
okay.
Thank you. And obviously we're recording the session as well, so that we've got that. What we do with that is under what's called the GDPR regulations. I think you have a similar thing in the US that looks after your privacy. We keep that for a very short period of time. We review it, and then we bin it. So again, that doesn't go on the internet. It's not going outside anywhere. It literally is disposed of within maybe 3 or 4 weeks of this conversation. So there's Brittany there. I'll just let her in. Brittany, it's Courtney. I'm sorry. I'll just let Courtney in. There she goes. There's Courtney. So it's an awkward moment, isn't it, when people join these calls?
Yeah.
Who's going to be behind the window? Courtney, I don't know if you can hear me.
I can, yeah.
You can. Perfect. So this is Brittany.
Right.
There you go.
Hello.
Hello.
This is Brittany. So as I said, Brittany, Courtney's just going to take some notes for us and make sure that, well, because she's very good at understanding what's going on, much better than me. Let's put it that way. Right. So I've got a bunch of questions. I loved watching your videos. Thank you so much for being so diligent with them. And it was really interesting. Well, because you had a big smile when you came on, you had a big smiling face, and it was like, okay, right, okay, I can listen to what Brittany's got to say. So that was really nice. How do I say your daughter's name correctly?
It's Iara.
Iara.
Mm-hmm.
Iara. What made you choose that name? Tell me why you chose that name.
Well, I don't know if you know this actress. Her name is Yara Shahidi. She is.
I don't, but yeah.
Okay, well, she's a young actress, and I just loved her name. And my other 2 children, their names start with an E. Well, yeah, their names start with an E. So I just decided to put the E in front of the Yara.
Perfect.
And just make it Iara.
Perfect. So it's an original name. It's perfect. And how many? You've got 2 other children. I saw in the video there's a young man. That's your son, I'm assuming.
Yes.
And do you have another son or another daughter?
Another son. He's older.
And how old are the children, if you don't mind my asking, Brittany?
14, 7, and 3.
14. Now, I mean this kindly. You don't look old enough to have a 14-year-old son.
Yes, I do.
That's a nice step in, one at a time, not too difficult. And that 7 and 3 is a good age group. Mine have that similar age group, and it's sort of old enough to kind of look after the little one and make things a little bit easier. Right, let's crack into this. There are literally no right or wrong answers, and I know you're going to be honest from the way that you shared your videos. We want to talk a little bit about, just to understand a little bit about you, a little bit about your family, just to give us an understanding. And then we're really just to talk about those episodes and really talk about the toys. And I'm guessing it's 4 o'clock your time at the moment, 4 p.m. Yeah.
Yes.
So we'll be wrapped up and done by 5 o'clock. So you can obviously get on with your day.
Okay.
So first of all, can I ask you, and if you want to say, Gary, shut up, I'm not telling you that. That's absolutely fine, and I won't take offence. We don't take offence, us Brits. Well, how would you describe your parenting style, Brittany? As a mum, what kind of mum are you?
Um, I think I'm on both sides of the spectrum. Like I'm very lovable, but I'm also stern. So I like organization, but I love hugs and kisses at the same time.
Yeah. Well, that's right. That's right, though, isn't it? You know, the children have got to know how to behave, but they need love as well. Perfect. And do you ever sort of homeschool the kids? Do you sort of help them with their homework much? How does schooling work in your home?
Well, yeah, definitely. Well, right now they're virtual because we have
Are they?
they have they high number of COVID cases, so they decided to keep them home. So I usually help them when they're doing the virtual, but when they're in school and they come home, I do homework as soon as they get home.
And how has that been for you? Do you work as well?
Yes.
Yes. And how was it during when they are at home? It must be quite stressful to have to.
Well, I'm lucky because I own my own salon space, so I'm able to manage my schedule in a way where I can be home with the kids when
Wonderful.
they do go through things like this, and then go back to work, like during the times when they're not in school.
Perfect. Okay. Brilliant. Right. So, what sort of things does the family like to do in spare time? I'm really more interested, obviously, in the younger ones, but as a family, do you do? Do you go for walks? Do you go to the mall? What's entertainment for the family?
Well, we actually just went to the ice skating rink on Sunday as a family. So we do stuff like that. We do a lot of like short local trips and adventures together. Not too much walking, but like going to the mall, going to the skating rink, going to an amusement park, a celebration or something like that.
Yeah. And is the snow? I saw that New York had its first snow the other day. Have you got snow yet?
Yes.
And how's the snow with the children? Are they loving that? I bet
they love it. They couldn't wait for school to be over so they could go outside.
No, brilliant. Right. So let's talk about Dino Ranch. And obviously, I really want you to talk to me through your daughter's eyes, if that's okay. You know, if she was a little bit older, we would have a conversation with her. But do you think it was interesting, wasn't it? Because in those first two videos you shared, she was engaged and she enjoyed it. And then in the third one, it was a different reaction, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And as I understand it, she is let's call her a casual fan. She'll watch Dino Ranch. She's not going to go, mummy, I need Dino. You know, it's not that kind of thing, but she'll watch it. Does she know what happens? Does she get it? Does she follow the characters? What do you think's going on when she sits and watches an episode of Dino Ranch?
I guess it depends on the Yara because a lot of times she is very much a sit and stare type person. And I guess when she understands, like she'll sing the theme song a lot.
Does she?
Mm-hmm.
Does she get up and sing it? Or how does that work? Just sits there and hums along. She
just sits there and kind of sings along with it.
Yeah, nice.
Mm-hmm.
And does she talk to you at all about what's happening in the show? Do you ever have a dialogue about what's going on? I'm trying to get an understanding of where a comprehension would be, Brittany, of the narrative, really.
It's very hard to tell because she's like that with everything. She's very much an observant type of person where she'll just sit there and take in what she's watching. And it's not just with Dino Ranch, it's with a lot of shows. So I feel like if she...
Sorry, please. No, I'll cut you
off.
I
was just going to say, I feel like when she watches something, because she tends to watch episodes over and over and over again.
Yeah. So
I feel like when she watches them maybe like 10 times, then she starts to reenact the show.
And why do you think that happens? Did you see that with your other two? The sort of repetition and then reenacting bits?
Yes.
Good.
Yes. Even my 7-year-old, he still does that.
Does he really? Is it, and are there particular things, and specifically with Dino Ranch, what is particular? Did you watch any of those episodes over again? Any of the three that we shared?
Um, the first one, I think she watched it 2 times.
Yeah.
Because she was just excited. She was like, "Oh, I'm about to watch Dino Ranch." So yeah, she watched that 2 times, and but that was the first day.
Yeah.
Because then she just wanted to go run and play.
Cool.
So then the next day, she watched the second episode in the morning and the third one in the evening. So yeah, she only watched the first one twice.
Was she, because you sort of are, it's a convoluted situation, isn't it? Because you're asking her to watch something, she's not choosing to watch it. Was she happy to go watch it, or did she kind of, Mom, why are you making me do this?
No, she was happy. I was like, come sit with me. We're about to go watch Dino Ranch. And she was like, all right, we about to go watch Dino Ranch. And she sat on my lap because we had to watch it on the computer. So she sat on my lap and she watched, she was fully engaged watching the episodes.
And so let's talk about the sort of that pre-task that you did for a little bit. You mentioned that she was engaged and she followed it, and if she's an observant kind of child anyway, she's kind of watching what's going on. She sounds like a smart girl. Children that I used to be a school teacher, an elementary teacher, and I always find that those children that are more quiet and observant tend to be the smarter ones. Is that yeah, you're nodding. You think she's got a little bit of a spark? Oh, have I frozen? Courtney, can you see me?
Yeah, I think she's right now moving extremely fast.
Is she?
Amazed at the things that comes out of her mouth sometimes.
what sort of things? What is it? Is it very different to the other two, or?
Definitely.
Is it?
And I don't know if that's just a girl boy thing, but she uses sentences properly, where I feel like children her age would stumble over words and not use them in the right tense. So
do you think, Brittany, I mean, this is sort of off the bit a little bit, but I study a lot of child psychology, and what we know about little girls is that, particularly little girls, traditionally they've spent more time closer to the mum, and because there's more closeness leads to more conversation leads to more vocabulary means you get smarter, and certainly we can see academically girls can be ahead of boys, certainly up until sort of grade 3 or 4 sometimes. Does she talk a lot when she's with you? Does she?
Yes.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
You said, what, too much slightly sometimes?
Yes.
But that talk then, so we think about it, going back to Dino Ranch a little bit, is that when she reenacts things from it, does she ever bring sort of things that she might see from the show, or has she brought things that she might have seen from the show into conversation with you? Like she said, I saw Clover did this in the show and that's funny, mummy, or anything like that?
No, but I did see her reenact it when she was playing with the toys.
Right. Okay. What happened there?
So she remembers all of their names from the show, and she'll say, "Oh, we have to go this way." Sorry, I can't quite remember all of their names, but she'll say their names.
That's all right.
Yeah, she'll say their names, and she'll be like, "We have to go this way." Like I think the toy has a trail thing that attaches to the dinosaur, and she was like, I can't put the girl on the back of she'll say the girl's name. I can't put her on the back of the thing. And then she'll show, and I see how she did it, and I remember it from a scene from the cartoon.
Was it the one where they put the baby dino on the back of the thing to get the baby dino back to the ranch? Was that what she was doing?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? So those themes there, there's a nurturing theme there, isn't there, with the one slightly bigger Triceratops looking after the slightly smaller Triceratops.
Definitely.
Do you think she picks up on those sort of things, the sort of the underlying themes of the show?
I think so because I think when I look at it, I look at it from a parent's perspective, and
Yep.
she looks at it from her perspective, which is still nurturing, but I guess more like a friendship thing more than a motherly thing.
Another thing, yeah. I mean, she's only 3, isn't she? When is she 4?
March.
Right. Okay. So she's becoming a little lady. She's really getting a sense of self coming on.
Mhm.
Does she play with dolls at all, Brittany?
Yes.
She does. And does she mother those dolls, or is that more related? She mothers the dolls, because that's interesting, isn't it? I'm trying to understand with the toys. Really trying to understand how the children play with the toys, what the relationship between the children and the toys is. Let's talk about that for a minute, because she's not going to cough again. What I found really interesting about, there was that moment when she took the barn out of the Amazon box, right? And there was fantastic.
And I wish I would have called her when I was actually bringing the box, because I realized I had to record her opening the box. But her excitement with me bringing the box, because it had the dino information on the outside of the box, she was like, "Dino!" And I was like, "Oh my God, I wish I would have caught that. That would have been so good."
So she just like, she knew what it was. She knew what it was.
Yes.
Lovely. And what I saw in the videos there was I think her brother was playing very nicely with her through those videos. Do they usually play together out of interest?
All the time.
Do they? That's nice. And she had the dinos in the little chariot thing, and she was wheeling it around, and it looked like she was telling her own story. It looked like she was kind of making things up. Was I observing that correctly? What was happening with that play?
Yeah. So that's right after I took everything out the box, when we took it out the plastic and everything, and she was it looked like she was trying to pair each person to the dino, each dinosaur. So I think it was like 5 of them, and 5 of the dinos. So it looked like she was just pairing each one to their person.
And was that easy for her to do? Did she know who was with who?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was pretty clear. Okay. Was there just to go back to the shows for a minute, because I've got my list of questions, and if I don't get all my questions, then Courtney will turn me off. You say she sits and she observes it, but as a mum, you must be able to tell whether or not when she's taking stuff in, when she's interested. Was there any leaning forward or leaning back, or was she just kind of sat statically? Can you remember?
We talk about the show, right?
The show, definitely the show.
Yeah, so definitely for the first one, she was very into it. And then for the second one, I let her sit by herself, and she was like, I need to find a perfect space to sit on a chair so I can watch it. And so when she figured that out, she was into it like this. But then when it got to the third one, she was kind of leaning back, and then she started looking this way.
So let's talk about that then. So did you watch them in order? So which was the third one for you? Do you remember what was it? The one with the pterodactyls, the flying ones?
I think that was it the one where they was going to the forest?
When Clover's grandpa Goliath got in trouble.
Yeah, when he broke the thing and they had to go find another wood to build the roof. Yep. Was that the third one?
Yep.
That was the third one?
If that's the, yeah. So if you watch that, so that one didn't engage her as much. Can I put a hypothesis to you? Because when I see that one, and I think she's 3, nearly 4. She's obviously a child that sort of watches things and thinks about things a lot. I wonder whether that one might have been a bit too tense, because when you watch it, and I don't know how she reacts to things like that, you know, the guy, the brontosaurus is falling down the hill, falling down the hill, falling down the hill. He goes over the edge, and then they've got to get him back. It's tension, and it's strange that she was watching the two engaged, excited by the toys. She obviously watches the show. It's not like she doesn't like the show, and yet on that one she's looking away, and she's not as interested.
Yeah.
Why do you think that might have been? What was it about that one?
I'm not sure.
Does what I say make
Maybe
sense?
Maybe the story wasn't interesting to her. Or she just I don't know. Maybe the story just wasn't interesting to her because
Yeah, I
she
don't
was
think
very
it was.
excited about the first two,
True.
and she acted the same way for the first two, but the third one.
And that was in the same day as well, wasn't it? You said,
Well, no. The first one was another day.
oh, okay,
The last two was in the same day.
that's it,
But
right?
she could watch TV all day. Like,
Okay.
just be sitting there, all in it like this.
Well,
So I know it wasn't.
rubbish.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Okay.
I know it wasn't too much for her to watch at one time because I even split up the time.
Right. So there's
I did-
definitely something not working in that story for her.
Yeah. I just
Interesting.
don't think she liked the story.
No, there's a lot of stories I don't like either. Can I ask you a little bit about, let's talk about some of the themes again. From your perspective, is there any humor in the show that's appropriate for her?
I mean, I didn't find it funny. I don't find Dino Ranch funny. I find it more of a what's the word I'm looking for?
Educational?
Yeah, I was about to say teaching moment. They do a lot of teaching moments with behavior and things that people like, things that the animals do. So I find it more of a teaching moment.
So what sort of teaching things were coming through, would land with her, do you think? What sort of themes would be those teachable moments?
I think like the episode when they were the dinosaur was creating tracks and making them go the wrong way.
When the two Triceratops were friends. Yeah.
And he didn't want him to go back home, I guess.
Yeah.
And so those are like teaching moments, and she was focused on that. So I guess she understands the concept of, you can't mislead people. So
yeah, good. Well, that's a mum teaching her well, I'm sure. Did she take from any occasions where, if we think about, if I show you, I'm just going to share my screen and show you something. We've got some stills from the show. Yes, I can do that. Share screen. I'm going to share that one. Okay, can you see that picture, Brittany?
yes.
Okay, so let me make that a little bit bigger so that it's clear. There we go. How's that? Is that better?
It's good.
That's good. Okay. So in this scene, John here just sort of takes a bit of a tumble, and Blitz, the Velociraptor, sort of has a bit of a chuckle. There's a moment of humor, of slapstick humor here. Is that something that you saw in any of the shows? Did you see those moments of humor? You say it's not funny in that way, but were there moments where she laughed or not?
I didn't see her laugh, so no.
Okay, but then we talked about the one with the tracks just now. I don't know if you remember this scene where the nasty dinosaur came in and Tango Dale had to get rid of them, and then the little dinosaur came in and kind of, Alu, I think they called him, came in and pushed as well, and together they beat the dinosaur back. What would your daughter take from that scene? If that's a teachable moment, what is that? What is that showing, do you think? What would she take from that?
To stand up for yourself.
Yeah, interesting. So the word I've got on my little sheet here, and it's not a test, by the way, is bravery. So yeah, standing up for yourself, I think is right, isn't it? And then there's this one here, which is the one that she didn't like so much. And it's interesting, isn't it? Because she is an observant child. So would she have taken sort of teamwork and sort of working together from this, or was she just like, no, I don't want to watch it? It was just this is where she was looking away.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say, but
yeah, I mean, but as a mum, just give me your opinion. What do you think? How do you think she would have seen it?
I just probably think it was a story she couldn't
Yeah, simple as that. Okay.
resonate with.
Yeah.
So it just didn't pull her in.
And then this one, I'm really interested in understanding more about the flying dinosaurs, particularly, and the Dino Airport. Did she register that it was a Dino Airport? Was that something that she kind of understood? Did she make the jump from sort of, you know, oh, that's a version of an airport that dinosaurs have?
I don't think it's a version of an airport, but I think she understood that you can ride a dinosaur and get to another location.
Perfect. What makes you think that you just know she would have got that? She understood that.
Yeah, because she knows what an airport is. So I think she understands the concept of flying. So when she sees the young person on the dinosaur, it'll register to her that you can get on a dinosaur and fly to a different location.
Of course you can. We all get on the back of a dinosaur and go to a different location, don't we? What did you think of that particular concept? Is that interesting to you as a mum? Is that sort of, or is that just a bit crazy?
No, I think it's good for the show because it's all focused around different dinosaurs. So I like how they incorporate each dinosaur to do different tasks.
Okay. And would you, so if we had sea dinosaurs, maybe you could have boats and you could have a harbor with dinosaurs that did boat things, I suppose.
That would be good. Yeah.
Yeah, that would work.
Showing, because then it's also showing different levels of the earth and how it's used. And children will start to understand that and, you know, take it in. And as they grow, they'll understand even more.
That's really helpful. And then this one here, this is a picture from the hatchery where the dinosaurs are hatched. Did she understand what this place was, do you think?
Not the way I would, but I think she would understand that something comes out the egg. Not that it's somebody's baby, but she would probably correlate it a little bit.
It's a strange concept, isn't it? That there's this sort of 8-year-old girl and a dinosaur looking after an egg that's going to become. It's a weird thing. It's definitely a weird thing. Were there any characters? So if I look here at some of the key characters, are there any characters that she particularly identified with that she liked?
Yeah, she definitely always, even when she was playing with the toys, always playing with the young lady with the yellow hat,
Min,
with the braids.
Yeah.
She definitely was always playing with her, saying her name. Yeah.
What about the dinosaurs? Was there any there that she particularly gravitated towards? Was it?
I would say the red one. She always played with those two together.
The which one? The one on the right? The
red, yeah.
The red one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And And does she know the dinosaurs' names like she does the children's names?
Yes, because she kept saying all of their names. I should have been paying attention because I need to know their names too.
You're gonna, you know, yeah, you do. No, okay, fine. Right, let me stop sharing. Stop sharing that. Okay, thank you, Brittany. That's really helpful. Was there? And I did ask. Earlier. I alluded to this earlier, and I just want to sort of explore it a little bit more with you. I think it was in your pre-task. Is there any noticeable difference at all between the Dino Ranches that she's already seen and these episodes? You know, the first ones that came out and these ones. Is there anything that's different?
I mean, the stories are different, but I don't think the concept is different.
Right.
Like I said, I feel like Dino Ranch is good on teaching moments. So
Yeah.
they definitely show teamwork, they show hard work, they show communication, and then they'll have a moment where someone will go do something that is not really a good thing, and then they'll circle back and have a teaching moment like, you know, you shouldn't do this because such and such, and then they create this beautiful moment at the end of happy ever after.
Lovely, that's what we want. Was there one of the things that we've worked on with the show is, and I don't know whether you can help me with this or not, and I don't want to put words into your mouth at all, and I'm sure you won't. You won't. You'll be straight with me. Previously, the dinosaurs were perhaps a little bit more like pets than dinosaurs in their own right. So when we finished making the first season, we thought, how do we, because some of the feedback we got from children and parents was, well, the dinosaurs need to have a little bit more center stage. They need to be a little bit more on and of themselves. And I guess I'm asking you almost a impossible question, but when you think about what previously versus now, would it be fair to say that the dinosaurs are more obvious, that they're more prevalent in the show, or does that not really register for you at all?
I mean, it doesn't register, but now that you say that and I think about the previous episodes, it does seem that way, like they are pets. And now in these episodes that I watch, they're having more of their own storyline where it's without the other children. So yeah. Because now that I think about it, that does make sense. But yeah, that didn't even register with me because I guess I was always focused on the message.
Yeah.
I always said to myself, like, oh, they have some good messages on how they teach how to be a good person, basically.
Yeah.
And I always thought about that every time I watch that show. That's why I like it, and I like that she watches it.
Yeah, it is. It's a good-hearted show, isn't it? There's no question. It really is. I'm really pleased that you say that because it's not obvious. Well, it's good that it's not obvious. You know, it's good that the sort of the narrative isn't broken, the meaning isn't broken by upping the weight of the dinosaurs in the show. We haven't changed the meaning of the show, so that's really good to hear. You talked a lot about the learning moments, and do you think there are more of those coming in those 3 episodes than there were previously?
Definitely, because the yeah, because I can remember majority of what was going wrong and how they kept trying to fix the situation.
Yeah.
More so like when I think about the old episodes, it was always something. Like I remember one episode where one of the birds couldn't go to sleep. Like they kept doing the cock-a-doodle-doo thing. And they were trying to figure out what's wrong with this bird. Well, the dinosaur. And they was like, what is wrong with you? Why you keep, you know? And even though that is the teachable moment, with these new episodes, it seemed more relatable to like a kid understanding why they shouldn't do certain things more than like why you're not going to sleep. So if that makes sense.
It does make sense. It makes perfect sense. Yeah, it does. It makes a lot of sense. sort of shifting focus a little bit to the human characters for a minute. Again, one of the things that we wanted to achieve was to give the characters the human characters more distinct personalities. And again, impossible question, but if you think about, let's think about John particularly, the blonde guy with the Velociraptor. What does he stand for in your mind? What's he about?
I see him like the leader of the pack.
Do you? What makes you say that?
Because I feel like he gives more instructions than the rest of them. And then I feel like the girl with the black hair and the yellow hat, she comes second as the leader.
It's funny, and then Miguel last.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because that's their age. So John's the eldest. He's 10, Min's supposed to be 8, and Miguel is 6. It's interesting. Wow. It's interesting that you put them in that order. Really interesting. What does Min do? Can you tell me? Can you remember what her thing is?
A strong individual.
Yeah.
And very nurturing. She seems like the nurturer of the group.
Let's talk about that for a minute. That elephant in the room. Why is the girl always the nurturer?
I guess that's just kind of how we always see things. I think it's very intentional all the time.
Does that mean it's right? If that's how we always done it, does that mean it's right?
It's not, but I guess sometimes it's just unintentional, and it just kind of just happens.
And it's okay, yeah. You don't have to change it for the sake of changing it.
There's nothing wrong with that, but yeah, that's what I just see her as. Like, I feel like she's always the one taking care of the smaller ones, the smaller dinosaurs, and
she's the doctor. She's the vet, effectively. So it's kind of interesting that you said she's the nurturing one as well. I think that you watch this. I think you probably watch this when the kids go to bed. Actually,
they watch it so much. It's like that's my TV now. I watch. That's kid shows. That's all I watch.
And listen, I do this for a living. All I ever watch is kid shows. The grown-up telly scares me now.
Yeah.
Okay. So, can you remember some of the things that they say? Are there any catchphrases or anything that you know that kind of rumble around the house when the show's on?
I just remember the music. That's what I remember. I can't remember the catchphrases, but I can always. I can't even hum it, but I can always remember the theme song.
Tell me, is there anything that you don't like about it? And you got to be 100% honest with me. Anything that you think, no, that's just rubbish. No.
No. I mean, when I first watched it was, I couldn't understand at first, but as I started to continue to watch it and I saw the concept of the storylines that they kept portraying, I was like, oh, I like this. Compared to some other shows.
What is it that you didn't understand? Was it the concept of kind of the Old West and dinosaurs and kids? Or what was it that you didn't quite get to start with?
It might have been that. It might have been another show
with dinosaurs. Odd, isn't it? Yeah, it's kind of it's weird, right?
Hey, okay. I'll let them watch it and see how it goes.
Exactly. That face that you're pulling is exactly it. It's like, all right, I'll deal with that. What if we sort of think about, and we're going to talk about the toys in a second. If we think about the perfect episode of Dino Ranch, particularly for your house, for Ivara. What character is the one that would be center, and what would happen if she could write an episode? How would that play out? Difficult questions, aren't they, at 4:00 on a Tuesday afternoon?
Yeah, just ask me that again, because I feel like
Yeah,
you're asking
sure.
me two things.
I'm asking you about 10 things. So if you could design, if you were in charge of the show, and you're going to make the show that is perfect for your daughter, what would that show be? That's a much better way of asking the question.
I don't know, because I wouldn't want to go off of what it is, but I find my daughter to be very observant, and she's like, when she does watch a show like 20 million times, she gets this move about her, and she likes to like move around and dance to it. So it would definitely be a show where she needs music to sing along to. I know she likes to sing along to things, so it definitely would have to be a show where it's some type of musical numbers. And
is there so Min would be the main character, right, for in her show? Because if she's
in her show, definitely it would be her, because I see she identifies with her, and if she was singing, she would definitely be connected a little more to the show, but not to be staring away from what the concept of the show is. I guess more woman power.
Yeah.
Like I said,
yeah.
I do see the other young man as the leader. So I feel like he kind of guides the organization of it all in the end. And everybody else just plays their part.
But you plays their part, yeah. Would you stay on the ranch in this episode you were creating, or would you go elsewhere? Would you go to other places, or would you would you go to new locations? Is there a big universe outside of the ranch, do you think?
Because it's for children, I don't think it should, because it's called Dino Ranch. So I feel like if it goes away from where it's centered around, then it kind of takes away from the concept of the show. So I think I think it's good to do a lot of scenarios and what they're doing, but still circle back to the ranch, I guess.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Okay, so let's talk about those toys a bit more. We know that they like the toys. She played with the toys. There was conversation and sort of make-believe play going on. Did she really like them? Did she play with them for 5 minutes because she'd been watching Dino Ranch and then put them to the side, or did they come back a little bit? How did she? You buy toys all the time, right? And you think, oh my God, I spent $10 on that, and that's in the bin. How do you feel about those toys as a value proposition for her?
For her, she plays with them every day. So
no way.
Yes, every day. And now her and her brother are fighting over them. So yes, she plays with them every day.
And Brittany, I mean, you only got, it's only, I'm assuming you, I don't know, but I'm assuming you may celebrate Christmas. I don't know, but you would have had, I guess the children would have got presents for Christmas from Father Christmas or Santa Claus. But even though she may have recently received gifts, she's still choosing and playing with these toys as well. Now, level with me. Is that about the fact that she's been doing this project with her mum? Or is that she likes playing with these toys? Let's cut to the chase on that.
I think she really likes playing with these toys because I don't buy that many toys. I'm not a toy person because I feel like you said, like kids will get stuff, they'll play with it for a little while and then they'll never play with it again. So I become that parent that doesn't buy a lot of toys. So she did get toys for Christmas and she still plays with those toys. But honestly, when she got these toys, she's been playing with them every single day. She brings the house downstairs to our living room and she does it, and her brother fight over it. Like, no, I want to play with it. It's my turn. So, yeah, she plays with it every day. I don't know if it's her favorite toy or
But she
it's
plays
just
with it.
what it is
Yeah.
right now, but she's had it since Saturday and she's played it
And today's
Saturday,
Tuesday.
Sunday, Monday, and today.
Yeah.
When she gets home, I promise you she'll play with it today.
Does if you'd have spent, you know, so the ones, the barn, you know, it's about $50.
Wow.
Tell me how does that, is that expensive?
Yes.
Do you think that's too much money for that toy? Given that she plays with it a lot, and I know you're not a toy person, but even if she plays with it a lot, that's still a pricey number.
Yeah, because
It's
I
a
know
lot
I
of
would
money,
have to
right?
buy the pieces. I think about the general of it all. So I would think I would want to spend $50 for all of it, not just one of it.
And what do you think of the? I've not seen the barn in the flesh. We don't have them in the UK yet, so I've only seen it sort of visually and through video as you have, as I've seen on yours and in others. Is it sturdy? Does it work well? Does it stand up? Do the children play with it without breaking it? How does it
Yeah,
work?
they haven't break it. I don't know, maybe from them moving it from upstairs to downstairs often, the slide comes off, but they put it back on.
Back on,
But that's the only thing I've seen that comes off.
off, right. Is there one of the toys which is more played with than any of the others?
But she definitely plays with the barn, and like I said, she always plays with the young lady with the black hair, Mince. I think that's what you said her name is.
Min, yeah, Min.
Min, yeah.
Min.
So she plays with her a lot. And then she plays with the trail thing.
Yeah. Okay. A lot of questions here we've already answered about, and just make sure I just want to check in with you that I've got this right. What I'm understanding from your pre-task and from what you've told me earlier is that she obviously has her favorite Min with the barn, that she will reenact some bits of the show. She'll have a kind of a nurturing, what we call a nurturing play pattern with the toys, where maybe does she have conversations between the characters and that sort of things, and they go on missions and all of that sort of stuff. So, and she's controlling that narrative, like she's the puppet master, I suppose, sort of thing. Okay,
yes,
clear. The quality we're clear on. Right, so Brittany, the not toy person, would you buy these toys for her in the future, do you think?
I mean, I would. Let me not say I'm not a toy person. I'm just not a buy a whole bunch
Brittany,
of
I've got you collared now, right? You're Brittany, the not toy person.
Yeah.
You're Brittany the Grinch now, in my mind.
I just hate to buy toys and then have to throw them away. So, but she does have toys. She has an ample amount of toys.
And you know what, right? And you are being a brilliant mum there, because there's an awful lot of studies and research which tells us that too many toys means that the children play less. Actually,
that's good to know.
And it is good to know, because you're absolutely right. There's an old quote, and I can't remember who says it, but you know, to a grown up, a stick is just a stick, and to a child, a stick's a world of possibilities.
Very true.
It's true, right? It's absolutely 100% true. Okay, right. We're on the sort of home stretch, really, which is great. Is there anything else that, as we've been talking, that you've thought of that might be worth sharing? Was there, when she's watching, when she's playing, anything that you think might be helpful for us to understand more?
Well, I would say it's very interesting to see how in love my daughter is with Dino Ranch, because she's very much a Minnie Mouse person. And I don't know if I should say that, but she's very much a Peppa Pig.
I saw her shoes. She's definitely a Minnie Mouse person.
Minnie Mouse person. So when she got the toys, it was amazing to see how much she loved it. Like, she really loves the toy, and for her to play with it every day, it was interesting. And I know you asked me before, I don't feel like I really answered it. You asked me would I buy the toy?
Hmm.
I would, because when I find that my daughter is interested in something, I like to make sure that, I really interact with that, because I feel like that shows her personality a little bit and develops her in a way. So that's why you see she has a lot of Minnie Mouse on. So now that I see that she likes the Dino Ranch, if she asks for it, I definitely would give it to her because her interest in it.
You know, Minnie Mouse is such an interesting character on so many levels. When my daughter's 17 now, but when she was probably, no, she was 4. She was 4 when we first went to Disney. What's the one in Florida? Disney World, Florida, isn't it? Yeah. When we first went to Disney World, we stood in a queue for 3 hours to have our photograph taken with Minnie Bloody Mouse, right? 3 hours. But the thing was, Brittany, what was interesting was that, you know what Disney do? They do those bloody queues where you kind of, you queue like a zigzag and you got a bit of entertainment. You go around, there's another zigzag, and it goes on and on and on. But at the end of all of the zigzags, there was Minnie, and the children, the Disney do it so well, obviously, but the children could see Minnie, and all of the kids were quiet and behaved. And we were queued for 2 hours. But it's because they had the eye on the prize, they were going to get their minute with Minnie, that character moment. The power of the mouse is a scary thing. It's a very scary thing.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
Turned into $1 billion industry.
I was talking to somebody yesterday that was very senior in Disney, a friend of mine, and I had to get some numbers for a different project, and it does about $4 billion a year. It's Mickey and Minnie together. It's crazy, hey? Crazy.
Can only dream of that kind of money.
Well, you're gonna have to, it's a lot of salons. It's a lot of salons. Brittany, thank you. Have you got any questions at all for me? Is there anything that you feel like that you need to know, or I think the incentive, I think the agency look after that, so you should get paid that straight away. I've passed back, and I did ask you to look at those extra things. We haven't really talked about those, but they were tough to watch, I bet, and I don't expect that she really did. So I've just showed them. We're speaking with children of all sorts of ages, so I just sent them to everybody. So no problem there. But I will make sure that extra $30 is in the incentive. If there's any issue with that, just WhatsApp me. Tell me straight away. It doesn't come from us. It comes from another company that we hire to find people like you. So if it doesn't come to you promptly, let me know, and I'll make sure that we get that paid for you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Gary.
Thank you. It's lovely to meet you. Have a very good, we'll probably never see each other again. So a great life. You've got beautiful children, and thank you for your time.
You too.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye. Thank you, Brittany.
Bye.